your perspective, your vision, your sight gives understanding to what is real, what is true. Now, what you see, what you perceive doesn't change what is real, doesn't change what is true, but it gives you the ability to see, to understand what is true. Imagine with me that you're a young teenager and you work. Your job is that you are an assistant for a man who has become enemy number one to a very powerful political leader. The political leader has become so enraged with your boss that he has marched a large army and an equally large contingent of military equipment and has ordered his men to go and arrest your boss by any means necessary. Early one morning, you get up to begin your day, and as you go about your routine and preparing for the day, you happen to look outside and you see something that strikes terror into your heart. The army and all of their impressive equipment of that political leader that is so angry at your boss has taken up positions around your entire city. The army is so numerous that they surround the city. You don't know how many there are, but you know there are more than you can count, and you're terrified. You see no possible way that you or your boss could possibly escape. They've got the entire city surrounded. Their might, their resources outnumber yours tremendously. And the thought of the mistreatment, the torture that the enemy will inflict is really more than you can bear to imagine. Your only hope really is that death will come quickly as they do what they're going to do to you after they capture you and your boss. In a panic, you run to your boss's room, you awaken him from his sleep, and you tell him the news. You tell him that there is an army that has surrounded the city. You implore him, brother, you got to get up, we've got to do something now. But the shock to you is that when your boss looks out the window to see the mass army that surrounded the city, that struck such terror into your heart, when he looks out the window and he observes this army, he turns to you and says, with really almost no excitement in his voice at all, "Oh, it's all right. It's all right. There's really no need to be afraid. Those who are with us are way more than those who are with them." Now, at this point, you're pretty confused. You're perplexed. What in the world is he talking about? Now, surely you know that he has some friends and some supporters and those that will certainly be advocates for him in the town, in the city, but none of these are soldiers. And even if you were to marshal the entirety of this whole city, there wouldn't be enough of the people in the city, even if they were soldiers, even if they had all the military equipment that the army surrounding the city had, even still, there wouldn't be enough to make a legitimate, a reasonable defense. What in the world is your boss talking about? But before you can challenge your boss's assessment, you see your boss get down on his knees and he starts to pray. Well, this is an encouraging sign, because if there's anything he needs to do, it's pray. And that's right, brother, pray. But your boss does something a little weird. He prays out loud a very short sentence, and he doesn't pray for deliverance. He doesn't pray that God would send some hail or lightning strikes or fire or anything like that to consume the enemy. No, he prays this. He says, "Oh Lord, please open his eyes that he may see." He's praying for you, that you can see. What in the world is your boss talking about? But as he spoke these words, something happened to you, almost like scales fell off of your eyes, or a veil was removed, or somehow you were able to see what had been there the whole time, but you were not able to see when you first looked out and saw the great army. After your boss prayed for you, now when you look out On the city's outskirts, you see the invading army. They're still there. Their military array is still there. All of their equipment is still there. They're still in the same number that they've always been. But now you can see a more numerous army. In fact, as you look just beyond the army that has surrounded the city, you see up in the mountains uncountable numbers of military men and equipment, more numerous than the army of the men surrounding the city. And the men who are up on the mountain surrounding the army that surrounds you, they and their equipment are men of fire. Pretty impressive. At the sight of this, instantly your fear is gone, not because the situation has changed, but because your perspective has changed. Your vision has changed. What you see has changed. This is what happened to the young man who was the servant to the prophet Elisha. When the king of Assyria sent his army to capture him, 2 Kings chapter 6 tells us that army surrounded the city. The servant was afraid. Elijah prayed that God would give the servant vision. And when he saw what God's army was doing, surrounding the army of Syria, he was no longer afraid. Perspective changes everything.